JP.
The following is an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Take your best shot. I can handle it. Baseballs have been flying over my fences, into my short porch.
Here's the payoff pitch. This is it! There it goes! It's out of here!
And onto my black forever. I was built by home runs.
Chris Chandler has won the American League pennant for the New York Yankees.
Tonight, I'll be bombarded by them.
That ball is gone!
And love it.
Deep right center field. That one has hit a mile way back.
And why not? I know what I've meant to the game. The home run derby here, in my final year, that means a lot to me.
Welcome to the 2008 State Farm Home Run Derby. It is our privilege to be here in this historic place for this special night. We're thrilled to bring it to you nationwide, worldwide for that matter, here on ESPN. Now, you fans, is it true? Someone said coming in here, is it true that this is Yankee Stadium's final year? Is it true? Well, then, if that's the case, give us your best Bronx cheer to welcome our 8 contestants, please. Give them a hand. Come on. There you go.
Home Run Derby. Call, click, or visit and start saving today. And in part by Aquafina, the official water of Major League Baseball. And Chevy, an American Revolution.
A beautiful evening here in New York, and aerial coverage provided to you all evening by Goodyear. Get there on Goodyear tires with carbon fiber. We go with carbon fiber over to Aaron Andrews.
Boom, a very special event tonight. 8 children joining us tonight from a local Boys and Girls Club. They're going to each be paired up with a Derby contestant. Now, the one that's with the Derby winner at the end of the night, they will earn her or his local Boys and Girls Club a $50,000 cash prize towards a teen center. The other 7, they're not going home empty-handed. They will earn club $10,000 prize. Not bad.
It's not better than not bad. It's a great deal. And they got new favorite players, I'll tell you that. And now a look at tonight's batting order for tonight's Home Run Derby presented by Taco Bell. Who can hit the most burrito supremes? We're going to go Dan Uggla and Grady Sizemore, Evan Longoria, then Chase Utley, then Lance Berkman, Justin Morneau, Ryan Braun, and Josh Hamilton will hit double cleanup, if you will. He'll hit last, and we'll know the magic number. And we're underway with a man with 23 home runs for the Florida Marlins, the surprising Florida Marlins. That would be Dan Uggla. And the man throwing is another second baseman or middle infielder by trade. Longtime Oakland A. Coach with Clint Hurdle's Colorado Rockies, that would be Mike Lego Gallego.
Well, as we all know, the pitcher is just as important as the hitter.
Well, right, they're about the same height.
Yeah, but if they can't get the rhythm or the speed down properly, it's like a fastball one time and change up the next.
Well, they're about Gallego and not the same height.
I don't think either one of them are challenged physically.
I'll tell you if it helps. Once we see if this one goes out, it helps.
There you go. He's the leader in the clubhouse. Anything swung at and not a home run is an out. A lot of way to go in center field, but not as far as it once was. But that does it. Wow. Okay, Joe.
Well,
you want a new favorite? You make a change in your pick?
I have to tell you, that one surprised me.
Oh! What are you saying ahead?
That one's a 408 straight away. It looked like he got under it.
Ball's carrying a little bit. Are you telling me this is tour trajectory, Joe?
I'm also telling you he's very strong.
So how about that? You're a youngster. It's Yankee Stadium. I mean, it's Yankee Stadium, and you step up and you hit your first 2 pitches out. How about that, Steve?
This is amazing. It's like a basketball player shooting a technical foul where you're out there by yourself. And another one goes out to right field. That looked like a pop-up coming off the bat. Strong kid.
It's under that one. Uggla, 28 years of age. Was once upon a time in the Arizona system. And the Rule 5 draft at the end of the 05 season. Went over to Florida and then hello.
Chris, you think about that. The Florida Marlins got him for $50,000 in the Rule 5 draft to get this kind of power.
That's a big
some
spot.
power back, and that'll get him roaring.
Upper deck, big fly.
His brother and his son watching.
There you go.
He's got some pretty good home video right there. This one is down the line. See ya. Well, balls are landing all over our fellas out there in left field. Look out, guys.
Yeah, Boomer, I didn't think we were going to get action, but that previous shot from Uggla went to the second deck. If that's 15 feet out here, Riley, you can catch a ball.
I should have brought my fishing net.
Peter, Steve Phillips talked about getting Dan Uggla for $50,000. Shed a little light on what Uggla's doing. Aside from setting a trend that righties can hit home runs here, and the ball appears to be jumping tonight.
Well, I mean, he and Hanley Ramirez have more than 40 home runs playing in Florida, which is a really tough home run park. So, I mean, the power that they have in the middle of the infield speaks for itself. But, I mean, Uggla's developed into a tremendous power hitter. I think, what happened in Arizona was that they switched administrations. Josh Burns and Peter Woodfork took over. They had to rely on the people who were there before. The basic decision in the organization was this guy was not a great prospect. Well, the Marlins, as usual,
yeah.
Right.
The catch is made by one of the little boys and girls as Dan Uggla takes a break. Crucky, this is one of those theories. Step away, take a break, don't swing too hard, don't swing too often.
Get the sun on TV, too.
And get your son on TV.
Which is great, but, Dan Uggla could have a little bit of advantage coming in. He rolled his ankle a few weeks ago. He sat out. He played the last couple of games before the All-Star break. He might be the freshest one here.
He asked how many outs. He's got 7 now, Boomer, with the 4 home runs.
Well, but you're right. He's patient. He's showing some savvy here.
He's only 5'11", 200 pounds, but it shows you that power doesn't come just from the biggest guy or the strongest guy. It's about the rotation of the hips at the plate and getting the bat through the zone.
Well, he's got 8 outs now, and after the 9th out, those white balls that Gallego is throwing will change to gold balls. It's when you only have 1 out left, and every gold ball is worth. Is this one going to get out of here? It's high, back, and gone. It's about 12 rows back. Every gold ball is going to be worth $17,000 donated from both State Farm and Major League Baseball combined. And the donation goes to the Boys and Girls Club of America, the official charity Major League Baseball, but Uggla will have none of that yet. He's doing pretty well with the white baseballs. Now here comes the gold.
Well, one of the things, remember, he's hitting in the twilight. It'll get better as the evening progresses for the hitter at the plate to be able to see. So what he's doing is great, considering he's at a handicap to start with.
Joe, strategy-wise, would you want to be the last guy to go as opposed to the first?
Today I would.
Back. This would be long. Look out, fellas.
Today I would like to be the last guy because of the lighting situation, but normally I'd like to be second. Not first, but second. But you're asking the wrong guy. I'm not in a home run hitting contest anyway.
This one won't have the legs, we don't think. Nope, lean left. But a good start for Dan Uggla, who measured 6 home runs.
Let's take a look at the tools of a champion, brought to you by Samsung Instinct. The National League leader is Ryan Howard, 28 home runs, who won this event in 2006. The Philly first baseman has tremendous strength and power to all fields. The American League home run leader with 23, Grady Sizemore, with the quick hands and a compact swing. Let's go down to Boomer.
But right now is the guy that Joe picked, that I picked, and who picked him up there in the set? Crucky, was that you? Chase Utley?
Crucky did.
Is that Crucky?
Yeah, Crucky picked Utley.
Well, lefty from Philly. Crucky, that would figure. Second base, that would figure. But I'm just on it clean, okay?
Crucky was as high on the Philadelphia Philly tradition as he was on Utley here.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, they have a feeling about this coming into this, they can win it. And this guy has the tools to do it.
And you like the pitching.
Well, the pitcher is different. You know how, fellas, Ramon Henderson was the Magic Phillies pitcher when Bobby Abreu won it, when Ryan Howard won it, but this is Mick Billmeyer, their catching instructor. So, but he still brings his own pitcher, Crucky. Just a different one.
Well, yeah, and I worked with Mick in the Phillies minor league system a few years ago, and when he came to town as the roving catching instructor, everyone wanted to hit off of Mick because of the consistent speed, no movement in it, four seam, over the top, and throw it right where you want it. So he's very good.
That's exactly how my high school pitching career was, Crucky. Everybody wanted to hit against me, but that was the other team.
Usually in Yankee Stadium, though, you never see anybody hitting off the Mick. It's the Mick doing the hitting.
Correct.
Remember when Matt Holliday brought his brother?
Yep.
That was good. David Wright brought Paul LaDuca, remember? You never know who's going to work for you.
Well, Utley hits those line drives, and he said before, I talked to him beforehand, guys, that I said, how's that 314 look? He goes, if I focus on 314, it's going to be foul.
Well, I think one of his problems, it looks like he's trying to keep him over swinging, and he's not as aggressive as we normally see him in a game. He usually had a little more bat speed right at the moment of impact, but I think he was probably trying to keep from over swinging, which is a problem as well.
Now he's got that compact swing, huh?
I think for all of the guys in this competition, he has the shortest stroke. He takes the bat head to the ball and the most direct plane of any hitter in this competition.
Well, and there's what he was talking about. He said, if I try to hit it right down the line, it's going to go foul. Meanwhile, Aaron Andrews with David Wright, who certainly New York fans know.
Thank you, Boom, so much. All of a sudden, the New York Mets have won 9 straight, half game behind Philly. David Wright, what the heck happened?
We have confidence. We were able to take advantage of some momentum, winning 3 out of 4 in Philly, and we feel good about ourselves, and it's showing in the win-loss column.
You know, some teams look forward to the All-Star break. They want some time off, but you guys are on such a roll. I mean, what do you think about that break?
I wish we had a few more games before the break, get a couple more wins. Try to keep this streak alive, but we have to remember what this feels like and carry it over to the second half.
This has been such a celebration here for Yankee Stadium, but you being part of the New York Mets, I mean, what has it been like for you in the city here?
Well, I think it's a celebration for New York. You know, this stadium has a lot of history in it. I enjoy coming over here playing. The Subway Series is special in itself. This has been a special week so far, and I'm looking forward to this show in front of the best fans in the world.
All right, David, thanks so much. Boom, back over to you.
Aaron, David, thank you very much. So Chase Utley's got to get going here with 6 outs, Joe. He's only got 2 home runs. You said he wasn't aggressive enough.
Well, you can see the ball is jamming him every once in a while. He's just not quite getting to the ball. And when you see him hit during the regular season, the barrel of the bat jumps out front.
It's rough when the home run hitters are out cheered by the kids making the grab off the balls that don't go in the stand.
Not what you're shooting for, no.
The ball, he hits such line drives that just they're not staying up there.
I mean, it's a good stroke and he hit it. I mean, that's what you want in a game situation. Nice line drive there, but not quite get to it.
Now those Phillies have had a lot of late rallies, as certainly New York Mets fans know, not only of a September variety, but late in games. It would be late in the game for Utley, and maybe he's just dialing in. There's a home run number 3. little patience here. Yep, that'll be right here, fellas.
Joe, you got it?
No.
We're counting on you, Joe.
Utley, 29 years of age, 3 straight times now starting second baseman for the National League at a 35-game hitting streak 2 years ago. His first game ever in the bigs hit a grand slam.
Well, his 25 home runs at the All-Star break, the most ever by a second baseman.
This is a long way to go, sends it back, and it made it. The record for second baseman, and Joe, you would know this, Davey Johnson, when he played briefly with the Atlanta Braves, had 43. Then there's a bunch of times Rogers Hornsby's on the list.
Yeah.
42 and...
I remember Davey Johnson that year, he was there with Hank and the boy. They were all hitting a lot of home runs that year. There you go.
There it is. Back. Up a decker.
Davey Johnson managed the All-Star Futures game. He's the USA coach going to the Olympics.
It's a big home run here because, remember, we have Uggla and Sizemore with 6. And then if he can get 6, it would be at least a bat off, I would think. And he gets under it. Does it have enough legs to right field? Missed it by that much.
5 is a pretty good number, though.
That's a good number, but just you're behind 2 guys, and we're only halfway through the lineup.
Yeah, let's stay at 1. Let's stay at 1.
So Utley with 5. Here's some of them.
But again, his balls are more of the line drive type. He had one upper deck shot that he got underneath, but he's more of a line drive hitter, and his line drives carry a long way.
Well, you're right, Joe. You watch his swings. He wasn't swinging with the kind of force you see in a game situation. He was trying to pull it back a little bit.
Well, Utley hopes to have another chance when we come back. And to put on a heck of a show in his home park of Houston a few years ago. That would be one of the best hitters in the game, Lance Berkman. Stay with us, please.
Couldn't have asked for a better night for baseball as you look live at the Empire State Building. Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. Get there on Goodyear tires with carbon fiber. Great skyline lit up here on a July night, and you go from one monument to another. Empire State Building and here at Yankee Stadium, the State Farm Home Run Derby. Lance Berkman, the Houston Astro, just clocked 8. He has moved ahead of Dan Uggla and Grady Sizemore, each who hit 6. Chase Utley and Evan Longoria with 3 to go. So we know that Berkman, by virtue of his 8, will be one of the 4 that will advance to the second round, and you take the cumulative totals to see who will advance to the finals. Only 2 get to the finals, 4 to the semifinals, and once you get to the finals, the slate is wiped clean. Stepping to the plate now, making his second All-Star game appearance and his second home run derby is Justin Morneau of the Minnesota Twins. He had 4 in the 2007 home run derby at AT&T Park. Berkman decided to hit lefty. That paid off. He went for 8. Sizemore, of course, right there. He went from the left side, and he's got 6. Longoria struggled with the 3, kind of like what the Rays have done heading into the All-Star break. Justin Morneau, patient.
I question the selection. I mean, he was the last guy. They added him yesterday. We have, no disrespect, but we got 8 white guys here this night. 5 of the last 8 champions in the Derby have been Hispanic. We don't have a single Hispanic player out here. We have 5 of the top 25 home run hitters active, and none of them are here. No Griffey, no Howard. Miguel Tejada, who won this thing, isn't here. No Abreu, no Pujols, no Manny. So I was very surprised they picked this guy.
Interesting concept. Now, Guerrero had a chance to come back and defend, but due to concern about injury and breakdown, they opted not to have Vlad do it.
But how can you not invite Ryan Howard here? It's an hour-and-a-half train ride. He was a great home run hitter. He's the outright home run leader.
I think historically there's never been somebody who wasn't selected to play in the All-Star game that has been in the Derby other than somebody to come back and defend their title.
Well, there you go.
Well, he didn't win last year.
Former champion.
Former champion.
I still think you've got to have Ryan Howard.
Rick Riley of ESPN.com wants a former champions category.
Yes, like the Masters.
Bring them back. Soriano, of course, hurt and not playing, replaced by is starting in the outfield. He's got Carlos Marmol, who is now a member of the All-Star team as a Cub. That ball is shot. Wow. Tell you, they're finding us. You take a look at Rudy Giuliani. They're finding that little area. That's where Hamilton said you can hit one out of the building. That's what he said.
I understand what he said, but, I've said a lot of things I couldn't produce on. And I'll probably say some more, too, before it's all done.
That one went 439 feet. You think there's anything to be said for doing it a second time, for having experience like everything else, or no?
Yeah, I think so. I think the first time, you're so nervous. I don't care where you're playing, you're so nervous. You just want to get in and get out of there and try to do the best you can. These guys now are trying to win it.
Well, that's what Berkman said. He said his first year he was just swinging at every pitch. Now he's learned.
Let's go down to Aaron Andrews. Aaron?
Ravi, thanks so much. I'm joined right now by Josh Hamilton, and of course, everyone knows about your comeback story right now. And you've said in your baseball you dreamt about taking part in this whole weekend here at Yankee Stadium. What would you dream about?
I had a dream before I got reinstated to baseball that I was in Yankee Stadium, I was in a home run derby. I didn't see how well I did, but I was talking to a lady, and the big thing was I got to share with people how God has got me from where I was to where I am now.
Now that you're here, describe what it's been like for you.
It's been a whirlwind. Putting him first in my life, and then coming back so quickly and doing all this, that just goes to show you. If you put him first, everything will happen.
You're joking around with Grady Sizemore right now about your nerves. What's going on? You said you're a little nervous.
I'm a little nervous. How many people are here? 55,000, 60? I got family here, people at home watching. You can't help me nervous. That's human nature. The little butterfly. If you don't have butterflies, something's wrong with you.
And Clay Counsell, pitching to 71 years old. You've known him for 15 years. How did you decide to bring him?
I told him, when I just got out of high school, got drafted, if I ever make it in the home run derby, I want you to throw. Because he's been such help to so many kids. He's never asked anything from them, and some of them never said thank you. And for over 30 years, he's been throwing batting practice to him. So when I found out I was going to be in this, I called him.
Well, good for you. Enjoy every minute of it. Thanks, Josh. Boom.
All right, Aaron, Josh, we look forward to him coming up. That is for sure. How about Justin Morneau, fellas? He's measuring it now.
And they're getting out to Harry, too. 3 career home runs in Yankee Stadium. But, Joe Vavra, the hitting coach for the Twins, is his batting practice pitcher right here. And he's throwing a lot of high balls. Yes. And I think that's the scouting report. If you're looking at what Justin Morneau likes, he likes the high ball because he is getting on top of those and driving them out of the park.
Up until 5 or 6 years ago, if you're going to hit a home run, it was usually on a high ball. But all of a sudden, guys started uppercut a little bit so they could hit the ball that was low out of the ballpark as well. They could lift it. So he's back to the old school. If you throw the ball up there, it stays up there.
If you have any question about where power comes from, you watch Justin Morneau's legs on his swing, and they get into it on every single swing. Every muscle just clenches up.
This is way back, and it's gone. He has tied Lance Berkman with the most thus far. Now remember, these carry over to this second round. Once upon a time, they didn't used to. He's going to the second round along with Berkman, but each one of these gives him more breathing room to get in the finals. Almost. And Justin Morneau with an 8 spot. And so he and Berkman will be moving on. MVP a couple years ago, edging out Derek Jeter in that vote. You might remember in 2006. How about the way the Twins are playing? No one talked about them in that division, but here they are again. The guys like Morneau and Maurer, and you're right, he just hit the high balls out, Joe.
Well, using Reggie Jackson's philosophy, if it's high, all you got to do is lay your bat on it, and it'll stay there.
Play some strong-looking kid. He lets the ball get back deep into the zone and then rotates 451 feet on that home run. See the rotation of the hips hitting against the front leg, that stiff front leg. That's where the power comes from. Rolls over after contact, Decelerates on the follow-through, finishing high. That's picture perfect.
Well, we have Ryan Braun coming up next. We're still not done with the first round. We've yet to see Hamilton, but take a look at the longest home runs of the night, brought to you by Vitamin Water Power C. Lance Berkman with the 3 longest, including 476. That one that hit into the hitter's, well, not the triangle here, the hitter's hole there in dead center field. And then Sizemore with the 4th longest. So now we have Ryan Braun. And we have Josh Hamilton still to come. And so 7 gets you into the next round automatically. 6, we're going to have one of those 4 or 5-way playoffs. So we'll see. So how about a Rookie of the Year at third base? Why don't you try another position this year? And by the way, you're an all-star at that position in your second year. Ryan Braun, the outfield. Pretty good, huh?
Well, I think he did that with his bat. Not his glove in left field. I mean, not that he's a poor fielder, but you make the all-star team with that lumber in your hand.
Plus, he does have a name for the home run derby, doesn't he? Braun?
Yes, he does.
But he's going to be a little jumpy, and we've seen that out of the gates. A young guy like Longoria was. Braun just 24 years of age. His slugging percentage, I know we can overstat baseball, that's going to be foul, but his slugging percentage last year of .634, that's the highest ever registered by a rookie, breaking the mark of Mark McGwire, who came in with Oakland, of course, in 1987 when he hit all those home runs. His slugging percentage was .618. Braun's was higher last year.
Well, he's some strong kid. I mean, 57 career home runs. Remember, he came up May 25th. Last season, so it was almost 2 months into the season, putting up those kind of numbers. And throwing to him is his agent, Nez Balello, so his agent out there throwing him at Home Run Derby. How about that?
Throwing him a little cheese.
Well, he got him signed, didn't he?
What if he gets a commission if he wins?
Well, he just signed this May to a new 8-year, $45 million contract. So, by the way, you get your cut, but you have to pitch to me. Well, Carl, guys, he's got to find his. He's got to get a comfort zone quickly, fellas.
Yeah, real quick. I mean, this is a marketing opportunity. The agent's got to know that. We need to capitalize here.
Exactly. I mean, you can almost see the agent going, I'm going to need about 35%, or you're not going to see anything close to the plate.
Peter talked about his light tower power. The Brewers as an organization have as much home run pop as there is in baseball. That's a good sign. He went about 8 rows up to right center field, did Ryan Braun.
That's a full-service agent. I love that.
Shows up in the big city.
Yes.
See some of the boys and girl clubs represented. Each player is with a Boys and Girls Club member. The person that wins the event will see $50,000 donated to the Boys and Girls Clubs of that person. Wow, that's upper facade. And $10,000 for all those that don't end up winning. So State Farm Insurance, Major League Baseball, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America all getting involved in this. Personality of Ryan Braun, you think about what he does in Milwaukee. What did we learn this year when Longoria gets 9 million votes to be voted in? A guy like Ryan Braun, who yanked that one to the upper deck. Ryan Braun ends up with almost 4 million votes, second only to Chase Utley. What are we learning? Anything?
I think there are a couple of factors. I think one, I think the public really wants to turn the page and move forward. I really believe that very strongly. I think secondly, the public is so much better educated. They're on the internet. They take all the statistical breakdowns of players. I think it's a far more knowledgeable group of people than guys just punching holes in the ballpark.
Incredible. 57 home runs in 2 seasons. That's nuts.
Yeah, he gets up and he hits home runs. Yeah. Peter likened it to Mark McGwire. I mean, that's a pretty hefty compliment at any stage of McGwire's career.
Exactly. I mean, people forget that Mark McGwire, when he was a rookie, hit 49 home runs, but that's just the kind of power this guy had.
Do you remember how skinny he was?
Yes.
If you put McGwire's picture then, his rookie year, to how he retired, it looks like the number 10.
What do you like about Braun's swing, Crookie?
It's short, compact, Carl, but, you know, I like the fact that he can hit the ball out of the ballpark at anywhere. You know, you saw his first home run in this home run derby contest. He hit it the other way. He doesn't care, and when you have that kind of power, it makes you so difficult to pitch to.
His first home run derby, and his agent knows he needs to get, well, 7 to assure himself of a spot. Little grunt and groan with that one that got him his 5th. Boom.
Well, he's measuring just as soon as you guys are the magic touch up there. As soon as we talk about guys getting a hold of things like Longoria, I think it's Crucky, actually. He's not saying as much, but I know it's Cruck's
It's got to be him.
Wow. Back it goes to left field. Look out, fellas. It's off the trimmed and ready sign.
Ryan Braun's done is he's locked the ball, get deeper in the zone. Early on, he was trying to hit it, went way out in front of the plate. Now he's letting it get a little bit deeper and then rotating and driving it.
Look at how deep he is in the batter's box.
Well,
kind of a...
What I see from him, he's got that perfect build, tall and lean, I think. For a lot of bat speed.
Oh, he's in. Now, he was nowhere halfway through, and he's in the next round. Again, the totals from the first round continue on to the second, so with the gold ball in here, can he put a couple more in his pocket? Remember, he was 0 for, what, 6? 0 for 5?
0 for 6 to start
0 for 6. We threw it up to Ravi and company, and everything changed. Let the record show. By the way, we'll inform his agent. Maybe a kickback to the left field set. Yeah, this is going to be under it a little too much. But Ryan Braun, second-year man from the Brewers, looking at trouble, now looking at the second round. The 5th overall pick, the first round of the 2005 draft, played at Miami, and here he is making a name for himself in Yankee Stadium.
Well, I mean, he really lets the bat fly through the zone, especially on the ball's middle end. I think he started to find the pitcher started throwing the ball middle end, and he was able to whip them down the line. You think about it, all his balls went right down the line. See, that ball's inside right there, and he pulls his hands in and drills the ball down the line. All of his home runs after he got hot were down the line, and that was because they were middle end.
I see all those kids out there watching these power bats hitting against that stiff front leg. That's where the power comes from.
And now we have arguably the nicest story in the bigs this year. Josh Hamilton, he has 95 RBIs. And his 71-year-old batting practice pitcher. Those stories and more coming up. Such a famous place, Yankee Stadium, in its 86th and final season. And then Times Square, speaking of landmarks here in New York, there's another one. Watching the 2008 State Farm Home Run Derby right in Times Square. And welcome back to our State Farm Home Run Derby here. It opened in 1923. Babe Ruth hit a home run in the first game, and John Philip Sousa conducted the band in the pregame ceremonies when they opened this place up. You think it opened big time? Ruth homering and John Philip Sousa with the music? Where do you go from there? Answer is right here. And now, Josh Hamilton and his pitcher, his batting practice pitcher, 71-year-old Clay Counsell, high school and American Legion coach in North Carolina. And hello, this guy has been the hitting story the first half of the season.
That's awesome, dude.
How about that? 95 RBIs for this young man from the Texas Rangers. His story now well chronicled. #1 overall pick of the Tampa Bay Rays. Blew his $4 million signing bonus with drug addiction, alcohol addiction. I think he just took care of a camera too. Put it on the bill. 3 years was out of baseball from 03 to 05. Woke up every couple hours in dreams that he had to help himself. Then finally got some help. Played some with Cincinnati last year. And wait a minute. Did that go where we think it went?
Like they hit the back wall of where the Adidas sign is out there. That's some kind of strength on this kid.
Well, he has developed some mental strength. And again, it was his own problem. This isn't someone coming back from a cancer, but he was diseased and in big trouble. And he has, not just because he has 95 RBIs or hits 500-foot home runs, he's speaking to groups, speaking to kids. He's very much trying to explain where he's been and why no one should go there. And oh, by the way, he has a chance at a Triple Crown.
You know, that's a great story and all that stuff is great right there. But you know what's amazing to me is that you can lay off 3 years and hit big league pitching. I'm telling you, it's tough when you miss a month into the season. And he missed 3 years to come back and be able to handle big league pitching. That's what, I mean, all the other stories are great. But for me to watch a guy come back physically and mentally adjust to big league pitching, that's a special talent. And I don't know if we've seen anybody like that before.
We've never seen anything like this ever. He played he only played up to the Class A level.
Right.
He never played AA, AAA baseball. He played 15 games. 15 games in the short season Class A in a 4-year period. Got taken to the major leagues in the Rule 5 draft by the Reds. And he's doing this. We've never, ever seen anything like what this kid is doing in baseball.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think people understand how difficult it is to hit a major league pitching even when you're playing all the time.
Wow! Well, the one before that, the long one was 502. This is going to be in the same neighborhood.
But just sitting down here, it sounds different coming off his bat than any of the other hitters. And we've got some of the best power hitters in the game. The sound is different.
You know why the sound is different? Because he's hitting it right on the sweet spot every time. That's why his sound is different. The other guys, some were toward the end, some were even up the handle a little bit. Everyone is right on the sweet spot.
Back, and another one, maybe 500 feet. That last one was 504. This is in the neighborhood again. How about Clay Counsell, 71 years of age? You think he and Josh don't have it together here?
I mean, what a great part of this story. I mean, there's every aspect of this is a movie waiting to be made, because if somebody told you this happened, you wouldn't believe it. Absolutely remarkable.
Boom, the record before tonight was 524. We'll see if somebody can pass that. Sammy Sosa in Miller Park in 2002 hit a 524-foot home run.
Well, this one is toward the moon. Well, here's the fellow who he was traded for, Edinson Volquez. I don't even want to know what's in there in the briefcase.
How about that trade? You've got a guy who has a chance to be the MVP in the American League, traded for a guy who's got a chance to be the National League Cy Young Award winner.
That's one of those situations where both teams are completely satisfied with the trade. I know if you're the Reds, you have to be really happy that you got a pitcher like Volquez.
This one is to that spot again in right center field. He's got everybody on his feet. He's moving on, and he can really tack on some more. The one team I'd like to just mention in here, how How about if he had had his head straightened out and he was on these Rays? You know, they're kind of left. We drafted first. We hung in. Oh, they're done! And you feel for him. You do. What more could they have done?
But I will tell you, I think that the class of the Rays organization will tell you they're happy for him. You know what? For everything he went through and all they went through with him, they're happy for him.
And they're booing the home run derby umpire.
Well, we might need instant replay.
We'll take a look. I'm sure we have it.
It actually looked like it was below the fence when it was caught in the outfield. Yeah, it's definitely below.
Jeffrey Mayer out there.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, that was not a homer. This one is back to right, and it's gone. Almost took that first deck out. No one is safe.
And he was the first pick of the draft. The year he was selected, the visions were he was a 5-tool guy. He'd hit for power, he'd hit for average, he'd be a great defender, have a great arm. And he took all that time off, and now we're seeing exactly what they thought he could do.
That's on its way to Hunter's Point, where they sell the vegetables out here in the Bronx. Oh, I'm going to get a seat in the third deck. Oh, we'll never catch a ball. So this is where he is. Hey, you guys are lucky you're not up there in the third deck and right, Ravi.
No, and I tell you one thing, you watch Josh Hamilton, you speak to him during the day-to-day. He is supremely confident in his abilities. I mean, he was born to do this, and he said that it wouldn't surprise him if he or a couple of other guys hit a ball out of the stadium. You can see why he'd think that way.
Absolutely. I believe me, I didn't think it could happen. He's making a believer out of me, though. The ability to hit the ball so far off of batting practice, it's incredible.
A couple of amazing things about Josh Hamilton as you hear this amazing story. He sat out those seasons, two full seasons. He didn't even work out. He didn't work out with any kind of trainer. Occasionally, he would go to a batting cage where you put in tokens and take pitches as he rips another one to right field.
We're in silly land now at 12 with no sign of slowing down.
Oh, Dad, if you can look at him, you see his tattoos that he's now ashamed of because many of them were put on when he was high on drugs. And he's tried to take them off, but the process is so painful that he can't. So now he's living with them. But I'll tell you, Ravi, this is a new way to get high. This is an amazing, amazing moment, I think.
That was a TO moment, like a timeout moment where he signed a baseball for one of the boys and girls. Alex Rios hit 12 last year in the first round. Second round, and whether he hits it out, everyone is hit with authority.
Yeah, he's not missing the barrel of the bat. That's what's amazing to me. You know, even in BP, you might get ahead of one, hit it off the end, get jammed a little bit if you're trying to wait. I mean, he's everything on the barrel.
You know, Coach, the last time I heard a ball come off a bat with that sound was Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
That's the last time in 30 years covering I've heard a sound like that. It's incredible.
Well, the other thing that makes me so happy for him, the influence. There are millions of kids in this country who have problems. And let's face it, this is not Nancy Reagan country. This is a country with reality. And the fact is, he has a tremendous influence. He's a kid from Massachusetts. He's the #1 pick of the Marlins named Jeff Allison, who missed almost 3 years pitching. 3 weeks ago, he made the Florida State All-Star game.
That's 14, Peter. And continue your story about Allison.
With Josh Hamilton as his role model. If this guy can come back from what he went through, Allison can do the same thing. He's on his way to the big leagues.
By the way, it's not easy for Josh. Anytime he goes out at night, even if he goes to fast food, whatever, he brings his buddy with him who's always with him because he says, I still don't trust myself.
Talked about being in San Francisco, Aaron Andrews. He went to Morton Steakhouse 2 consecutive nights, and on both nights he sat away from his teammates with his partner and his helper. 15 big flies. Aaron?
Having 3 of his teammates are sitting together right now. I'm here with Michael Young, and describe what you're watching right now. You guys are having a blast here.
This is same old. We've seen this for about a whole first half now, and we know that he's competing against some incredible power hitters, but we said today during the home run derby, if he gets locked in with his BP guy, this thing was over before it started.
What has he meant to your team this year?
He's incredible. I mean, he really is just the kind of person he is, not just the kind of player he is, but the kind of person he is has been incredible. We love him as a teammate. He's been a great force in our clubhouse, and we absolutely love him. We love him. Milton, should he stop or should he just keep going?
He's putting on a show right now. I mean, he just did it. He just called it. I mean, he's locked in. He's hitting balls on cue. He's putting them wherever he wants to. I mean, the guy's unbelievable.
Now, Ian, was he asking for your batting gloves or advice? What did you do up there before he got up?
He doesn't need advice. Look at this guy. He just wanted an extra pair of batting gloves in case he sweated through them or something. I don't know. I think he plans on being up there a while. That's on the turf. Oh, he might go on the black stuff before the night's over.
All right, guys, thanks so much.
Well, he may not have to bat the second round, Boomer.
Well, that's
he may not even have to go up there. He may not. Because, I mean, he's got 16. That's twice what anyone else hit. He may not have to hit his second round.
Meanwhile, here's Clay Counsell, not on a pitch count.
I'll tell you what, he's been amazing, too. He's been absolutely amazing. Wow. Wow.
That looks about where Reggie Jackson hit his third home run.
Well, in the house that Ruth built, in the place where Lou Gehrig hit him, in the place where Mickey Mantle hit tape measure shots almost off the light stanchions, off the old facade, in a place where Reggie Jackson thrilled him, and you could go on and on and on, in a place that was built to watch home runs. Josh Hamilton of the Texas Rangers has 50,000 plus New Yorkers chanting his name. Go on again. Speechless, 18 homers. The manager of the National League, Clint Hurdle, just came over and whispered to me, we better get the stadium crew out to repair some of the dents he's putting in.
Well, that one was 518 feet. He's getting closer to Sammy Sosa's record of 524.
Oh, and this could be in that alley. That was almost, if he had a little more fade on it.
That was a line drive, though.
A little more draw, Joe, for a lefty. It could be out the alley.
He's trying to hit it out of the stadium. He wants to get it over the left out there.
He's got enough to assure himself for the third round, so he might as well go for it. You know, we've seen guys get hot and hit a few home runs, but never with the distance that he is hitting them. I mean, this is awesome.
Well, you saw the graphic with Abreu, and this is another launcher. This one is in Pelham. It's the only one he didn't hit out, the ball he signed. I mean, this is 20 home runs. Still got 2 to go. Outs, that is. Oh, it's tattooed. Back, gone.
Well, the only thing you have to be careful of is we've seen this before, Steve, where guys hit a lot of home runs, then they get tired, the second or third round.
They're booing David Ortiz for advice. Clint Hurdle just came over again and said his high school coach is going to have another birthday before we get him out. Clint, just do the show with us. Come here. Will this stay fair?
Yes.
Of course it will. Well, he would like this.
Can you imagine watching a young player like this, you know, when he was young in his peak, you can understand why he was, you know, the #1 draft choice in the nation. I mean, you watch the guy and you just see the ball jump off his back. And that's not something that you learn later on. He had that all the time. And that's why he was the #1 draft choice. I think he finally made an out.
It's a sky ball. What are you kidding, Joe?
I forgot the short porch there.
Years from now, when they talk about the old Yankee Stadium and we talk about all of the memories and all of the ghosts, one of the memories will be this kid on this field doing what he's doing right now.
And a drag bunt? Nope. He was showing drag bunt.
Well, I kind of want him to get to the goal ball so he can make some money for all those boys clubs, the boys and girls clubs.
Toward the black part of the bleachers. You got it.
The boys and girls clubs said make it out and then hit the goal balls out.
It's amazing. The players all started out sitting on the grass in their seats. Now they're all creeping closer to home plate right now on their feet.
Well, they just announced, as we showed you before, that Abreu's 24 home runs in a round. Josh is tied. The next one, he's alone.
Well, the distances are a little different. I mean, these are true big flies.
Well, he's way past. Well, we had a mile about 10 homers ago. Now what? Let's calculate. How many? Are we coming up on 2 miles yet of home runs? Another one gone!
He got out in front of that one and almost was full, but still strong out of the park.
Well, that one had a lot of top spin on it.
I mean, everybody is kind of cheered out. I don't mean bored. Just what do we do now? And this Clay Council has a story to tell. Way back! Staten Island bound. Oh, my goodness.
You've seen 48 pitches now during this at-bat.
Well, that's right. Give this young man, this 71-year-old who was electrified, as Clay Council, who was only at Yankee Stadium once before in his life. It was the day Don Larson pitched the perfect game in 1956. He's pitching a different kind of perfect game.
Well, Josh Hamilton chose him because he had thrown batting practice to so many kids in his life. Some thanking him, some not, but help kids never asking for anything in return, and what a gift to give back.
By the way, the leader in home runs, I know I'm not trying to equate, but Brian Howard has 28 to lead the majors at the break. He might have 28 before he sits down.
He actually had been in a slight slump as far as home runs were concerned up until, you know, a few days ago. He had not hit a home run for quite a spell.
Joe, can we pronounce that over?
Yes. Oh, it was over 3 days ago.
Yeah. Well, he hit one off K-Rod, right?
Yeah.
To win a game.
But he had not. He was stuck around on 19 for a while there.
We still have not got to that gold ball. We should have a silver ball with 8 outs. You're right, Joe.
Because I mean, it's a lot of money being wasted.
Well, to the deepest part of the park.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious. 28 homers. And two guys that can pound it pretty well from that side of the plate discussing it. Big Poppy and Reggie.
Oh, man.
Texas teammates, Milton Bradley.
Catcher's legs are getting sore. He's just sitting back there.
Finally. Well, I just wanted him to get to the goal ball.
Well, now here's your chance.
Money,
28 homers and now the gold ball. And everyone is just worn out except Josh Hamilton and his pitcher, Clay Counsell. Gold ball trying the other way. But I like his chances on getting to the finals. '28 home runs.
What? Hey, doggy. Hey, now you guys know.
Hey, Clay. Hey, I got something for you. Hey.
Hey.
Get up here.
Wow. I got mine.
Hey, we got more rounds to go.
No, we got to get you first. You can't hit that many home runs and then walk away. You said in your journey back to baseball, you dreamed about this. How did it compare to the dream?
Well, obviously in the dream, I didn't know how many I hit. I was just being able to talk to you about it. You know, it's amazing over the past few years what God's done in my life and how quickly He's done it. So I just feel blessed to have Clay here, throwing some batting practice to me and people watching.
You had all these fans chanting your name in Yankee Stadium. How did that sound?
I tell you, folks, I got chills. Thank you guys so much.
Clay, we have to ask you, you've been here, you've seen Josh since he was a little boy. 54 pitches for you tonight. What is this moment like for you?
Oh, this is a big thrill for me, and I thank Josh for inviting me. I say here I'm at the All-Star game, only got one vote, Josh. So I really give him credit and appreciate the opportunity to come out.
54 pitches, you only got one water break. How's your arm?
It's wore out. I need therapy. We got to go again.
Go get some ice. Boom, back over to you.
Well, here's the good news. Unless Lance Berkman or Justin Morneau or Ryan Braun plan on hitting 20 or 21 homers,
total, right?
Josh doesn't have to hit in the second round and he'll automatically be in the finals.
502 feet right there. Look at that. Well, 502 is good, but let's go 504 right here. Look at the strength of this young man.
Well, as I said in the beginning, Steve, he's hitting everything on the sweet spot right there, and that was the reason, you know, for the sound being different, that's the reason that he was able to generate so much power, because he was hitting everything on the sweet spot.
518 feet right there. I need to get toweled off after that.
I mean, look at that. Look at the hands. You know, they talk about Tiger Woods in golf, that delayed action, how your hands move forward and then they catch up, the barrel of the bat catches up. Well, that generates power, and that's what he was doing there, that delayed hand action.
Under one of these bases round is a certificate which will entitle the one.
Well, Josh Hamilton has just put the stadium in a tizzy. So he, along with Lance Berkman, Justin Morneau, and Ryan Braun, are on to the semis here at Yankee Stadium. We'll be back. again at our Final Four contestants, brought to you by Holiday Inn. Josh Hamilton with 28, Justin Morneau with 8, Lance Berkman with 8, Ryan Braun 7. And so now these totals count as Lance Berkman is up in the second round. The combined totals in rounds 1 and 2 will get you our 2 finalists. And so while we still marvel in what Josh Hamilton was able to do, the totals do wipe out in the finals. But here's a guy that knows something about hitting home runs in Yankee Stadium. And that would be the Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson, who joins us here with Joe Morgan and Steve Phillips and Chris Berman. Good evening, Reg.
Thank you, Chris and Joe Morgan and Steve Phillips.
How are you?
If I was doing any better, I'd be twins.
How was you went to Manhattan and back during Josh Hamilton's at bat, didn't you?
You know, I came downstairs and I left upstairs. I said, I need to get downstairs while this guy's got 10 outs. Because he's only got 10 outs, and I got down here and had another 20 minutes to watch. 28 home runs. It looks like a misprint.
It does. How about where some of those balls went? I mean, you understand. You hit them there. I understand different circumstances and games, but there are some places that very few can reach here.
There is no doubt. I think with Joe, Steve, you guys have all seen enough baseball. It's why people have paid to come to this tonight. If nothing else happens, the fans have gotten their money's worth because they saw bomb after bomb after bomb, and they compared it to Mickey, they compared it to Stargell, McCovey. They had all those opportunities to do that, and that's why we paid to come out here tonight.
You know, speaking of that, were you ever in a home run hitting contest? I mean, some teams would have them.
I was, Joe. We had home run hitting contests, you know, say the Baltimore Orioles against the Oakland A's and things like that. And I absolutely loved them. It just, what we would win was like, remember Man Alive, 2 for $5, 2 pair of shoes for $5? You'd win that, or a $50 gift certificate for dinner, you know, for like 6 people. You get $75. But, you know, I won them all.
Well, we're not surprised at that.
Unfortunately, they didn't have this when you were making the All-Star team.
Joe, I would have came out here. I don't want to do the home run derby because it might affect my swing. I was trying to do that every time I went to the plate. What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you, my greatest All-Star game thrill, I was in Detroit in 1971. I was sitting up in right field when you hit that home run. Talk about that at bat.
Steve, I appreciate the fact that you didn't say you were 10.
I was actually 8.
No,
I was 8.
You know what I remember about that? Sal Bando, you know, I made the All-Star team as an alternate for Tony Oliva. He was hitting .400 and he hurt his knee. And I was getting dressed, getting packed, and Sal Bando, who was a locker between he and I, Captain Sal, says, Reggie, do me a favor. Don't embarrass the ball club and go back there and strike out, because I was a prolific strikeout guy. We all know that, right?
You were?
And appreciate that, Chris. And as soon as I got in the batter's box, it was no balls and 2 strikes. I got out of the batter's box, and of all the things I was thinking about, I know, ladies and gentlemen, you're supposed to be thinking about what you're going to do with the pitch, going to be working, you know, I'm going to make contact. I said to myself, Sal said, Reggie, don't strike out. For the first time in my career, I choked up. That's the truth, yeah. I choked
that
up.
ball?
Yes, I did. I choked up.
Well, Lance Berkman, with just an out to go, may have just choked up. He has 6, so he's in pretty decent shape here. Reggie, can you put into words what it was like playing in this stage at Yankee Stadium?
I'll stumble through it, you know. You know, every time players come here, no matter who you are, Hall of Famers to be, future Hall of Famers and guys, you know, that are great rookies or highly touted or whatever.
No, I'm fine.
Sooner or later, your first trip here, you get out to the monuments. You take a look, and you're in awe. Because there isn't a baseball player that doesn't recognize the names, DiMaggio and Huggins and Mantle and Gehrig and Ford and Berra. There's no one that doesn't know those names. So you go out there, you marvel, and you absolutely appreciate the fact that you can step on the hallowed grounds. And so for me, playing here, you had a chance to compare yourself to the greatest players of all time. This is why Rodriguez is here in New York. Jeter gets to compare himself to the greatest of all time, and that is so much of what baseball is about, the comparisons of its history.
Well said.
And then you hit a home run. And then how does the crowd and the roar affect you?
You know when people say you put the men's pinstripes on and things become different? The energy from the crowd, when you look up in the stands and see the layers of people in the stands, you remember what has happened in the stadium. And if you're going to fulfill your potential here, certainly it helps because of the stage, because of the city, because of the expectations and the constant drive from the media to do well and be successful. So it is a fabulous place to play. I feel fortunate that I played here.
You know, all the guys, you had a great time here. There have been other guys who did not fare so well coming to New York. They couldn't handle this big stage. And I think that's what you were talking about. On the big stage in New York, there have been a lot of failures here, too. We know a lot of players who were pretty good before they got here, and they could not handle that stage. I mean, you relish being, in this ballpark, and that makes a big difference. You love the big stage. And there are a lot of guys who were afraid of this big stage.
Joe, I think that so many players that understand the history of the game, and Steve, you know that as well, when they understand its history and they have the opportunity to relish, to be privileged to be able to participate with it, it's not something that you're afraid of. You're elated. You swell up with the ability to attempt and try to perform. And if you're going to be a good player, you're going to fulfill your ability. The players that respect and relish the game have reverence for its players. And this place become great players.
Now, when you and Joe got a chance to play All-Star games, it looked like you went out to win for your league. There was that sense of pride to win for the American League or for the National League. It doesn't feel the same way now. Why do you think that is?
Well, for one thing, after the game was over, we all didn't have our own jet to fly wherever we wanted to fly. I was wanting to hustle to get home the next day because we had a workout, and you needed to be there. Now, toward the end of my career, I got that day off, but I participated in 13 or 14 All-Star games, and in 4 or 5 of them, I played 9 innings. Right. And when Willie Mays played in the All-Star game, he played 9 innings, and so did Aaron. And they didn't complain. They enjoyed it. Our president of our league came in one time and said, Reggie, we haven't won a game in umpteen years. I used to see Joe and Rose and those guys at the All-Star game. They laugh at me, make fun of me. You ain't gonna win. You ain't do nothing. I'd be out there, playing 9 innings. They'd be looking at me laughing, gone somewhere to a restaurant. Hey, man, I walk in the restaurant at 11 o'clock and hey, you just getting done? See you. I'm going home.
Well, I tell you what, your mark indelible here in Yankee Stadium, and it's just fitting you're with us here on a home run derby night. One of the greatest ever to swing for the fences with 563, and I still think he could still win this. Although with Josh, that would be tough. Reggie Jackson, thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, Chris.
All right. Mr. October knows a little bit some about long ball. Ravi, what do you guys think? Morneau can get it going?
Well, that's all relative, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it does feel like we're watching an intermission act after what Hamilton did. You watched Lance Berkman go through a crookie, and it felt like everyone now is waiting for Hamilton to come back.
Well, it's worth great anticipation what he did in the first round. But my concern is Claiborne Counsell, the pitcher. Josh Allen might say, let's skip the second round, give Claiborne a chance to reload.
Well, I don't see a reason he would ever come up in the second round. Move on to the finals. It reminds me of Tiger Woods at Pebble Beach. The race for second place in 2000 was really good, but there was a guy who was 12 shots ahead.
Well, yeah, it reminds me of Dwight Stones jumping 7-6 and then not jumping the rest of the tournament. I just want to recap what we just saw. A former heroin addict who was out of the game for 3 seasons came to Yankee Stadium after having a dream that he would come here and be in the home run derby, not even knowing it was going to be in Yankee Stadium, and he hit 28 bombs. And he picked his 71-year-old Legion batting practice pitcher, which is a total gamble anyway. You don't know if the guy's going to be able to deal with the bright lights of Yankee Stadium. And the old 71-year-old guy fed him these beautiful pitches, and he's tripled the lead on everybody else. I mean, that was the send-off that Yankee Stadium deserved if this is, in fact, the send-off.
Right now, Justin Morneau has got 14 total home runs. That would be 15. So if you combine what Morneau and Berkman have done, they have one more than Hamilton did in his first round, which is 28.
But all it takes is to get into that final round, and the slate's wiped clean.
True. What's it going to take for the people to realize that there are other guys involved in the competition, Peter? Another 20?
Well, actually, all it does is come down to whoever finished second, get into that third round and put on the show. I mean, that's the one thing. As great as that show was by Hamilton, whoever, if you come out in the last round and hit like 12 or 13 and Josh cools down in this period, you know, that's... But you know what? It doesn't take away from the show and from the story.
Right.
And from the model.
I was disappointed that A-Rod didn't come. I mean, he had 3.9 million reasons to come here, and he didn't come. But this was better than anything A-Rod was going to give us. This was amazing.
Lance Berkman, as a result of Morneau having 17, is out of the competition. So now it's going to be Hamilton against either Morneau or Ryan Braun if he's got anything left in the tank. But how about being Berkman following what Hamilton did?
Yeah, that's... You know,
that's an impossible act.
Well, it's like following a perfect game. You give up a single on the first pitch, you pitch a one-hitter. You know, people are going to boo you and walk out of the stadium because you didn't follow it up. You know, the thing about it is, think about how long Ryan Braun's had to sit.
Yeah. Here's the round 2 recap, the 9 home runs, and it's amazing what Hamilton has done to the competition. Take a look at some of the Morneau home runs. I guess now you know what it felt like to be anybody other than Barry Bonds during the 73 home run season. I mean, this has completely taken everything else and rendered it secondary. Morneau's hitting upper deck shots. He's hitting 480-foot shots.
And people are hoping he hits homers, but secretly hoping that he makes them out so we can get back to Josh Hamilton. It's sad.
Well, it's like following Mozart. What are you going to do? I mean, this is the story of the weekend. And we might have a great final, but right now that was amazing.
Now we just got to get to the final. But Josh Hamilton's show is what everyone is talking about as they get set for Ryan Braun to come up. Hamilton's got 28. The next closest is 17. Ryan Braun's got some work to do. All he needs to do is get to 18 to set up a Braun-Hamilton final.
Welcome back, everybody, to the State Farm Home Run Derby for 2008. And Josh Hamilton and Justin Morneau, we wiped the slate clean.
Now you're up first.
So you could win 2-1 here in the finals. And often, we heard Peter tell the story, we were all there, Joe, Mark McGuire, with this huge round at Fenway in the first round, but that didn't translate to a championship. Jason Giambi, he's won one, but he had huge big rounds, and it didn't translate in the finals. Aaron Andrews, we're ready for the finals.
We are ready for the finals, Boom. And don't forget, we talked about it earlier. We have 8 children here from the local Boys and Girls Club. Well, right now, we've got Ernestine Grant, who obviously is cheering for Josh Hamilton, and Tiffany Alvarez, who would like to see Justin Morneau beat Josh. Remember, the winner tonight of the Derby, their guy will help them get $50,000 for their local Boys and Girls Club.
All right, Aaron, thank you. And the finals are now on. Justin Morneau with an out on the first swing. Seriously, we've seen Hamilton put on a show. What do you think? Does he win it or not, guys?
Well, do we get another pick? Is that what you're asking?
No, I know. I'm just saying. I mean, is it a shoe-in or it is?
Well, I don't think anything's a shoe-in because we've seen, Morneau get hot as well. He seems to be a little lazy on his swings right now, everything going to center field. But we've talked about the fact that you go sit down for a while, and it's very difficult to pick up where you left off.
He had 8, then he had 9 in his first 2 rounds, and he'll have at least 1 here in the finals. Back, gone, upper deck.
That's a Costas thing too, right?
And what do you guys think up there, Ravi? Is it Morneau is equal footing here with Hamilton?
No. I don't think there's any equal footing at all. Although, if you looked at Hamilton's last 5 or 6 swings, I think he had 1 home run. I mean, that was very different than the string of about 15 in a row we saw. But no, I don't think the footing's equal. Stranger things have happened. Rick?
I think Boomer had it when he said that, if you're on the range and you're about to go to the tee, you don't want your last shot to be a shank. And his last 3 swings were shanks. So I kind of think maybe he might have got out of his rhythm here. So I don't think it's a lock at all.
Well, let's go to the voice of reason up here, John.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking for me for the voice of reason. Yeah, I just think Josh Hamilton's too well rested. Justin Morneau had to go through that second round with aim and ambition. Josh Hamilton was just getting loose and just keeping loose. He's pretty much dialed in. He'll be all right.
The one thing the reason I thought Morneau might have a chance, he's so still. His swing is so good and so, as well as powerful. He reminds me of like John Olerud times 2, you know?
If you think about it, that he had, 17 to get into the final, and now he's got 19 home runs. He still falls 9 home runs shy of what Hamilton did after 1 round.
But you can see fatigue setting in. He got jammed. He hit a little roller to second. There he tried to get out in front of it because he knows he's slower, and he hits one off the end of the bat and pops it up. So
hard to quantify the impact that Hamilton's 28 in the first round had on the opponents. That one is hammered, but there are times where you're a good hitter and you know the pitcher's going to beat you. That's a bad feeling. Yeah.
Often.
But it's kind of like when you're in Vegas at the blackjack dealer and all of a sudden the dealer changes and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you feel the air go out of the room. I mean, he might have hit his peak already.
3 homers. He's got 8 outs. 2 to go. You know, Steve Phillips may have said it right, Boomer, and we don't often say that, but he did say that, look, the magic ride of Josh Hamilton, that's what the story's all about, and it certainly appears to be that way.
Well, Morneau now has the gold ball here. He's got 3 homers. He wears number 33, and you guys know this story. In honor of his hero, I told you he was a goalie in British Columbia. Patrick Waugh was number 33, so he's going to have to protect in a low-scoring game, I think, unless he gets hot. But with a gold ball here, well, there's one. So now he's got 4.
I mean, if he can get up to 6 or 7, I think he's got a real good shot.
Or at least to put pressure on Hamilton.
And I think that's what would happen.
Yeah. I know Hamilton's last few swings weren't good, but I think he had a different intensity level because he knew he didn't have to do it. I think it now gives him some time mentally to kind of regroup, refocus, and come out with a different level of concentration.
Got in at 4:30.
Oh, this one is hammered to right. Back, and that's going to be a top shelfer. So here's 5 now. 2 gold ball homers.
He needs to quit hitting home run.
Well, the thing you like about Morneau's swing is the balance that he maintains throughout his swing. And he just has such great balance.
Well, the question is, will 5 be enough? Justin Morneau with 5 in the finals, and usually that's about 5, 6, 7 what we see in the finals, Joe, isn't it, as I recall?
That's what I was saying. If he could get to 7, I don't think he got enough. But if he could have gotten to 7, you know, possibly 8, I think he would have put a lot of pressure on Hamilton. But, you know, I don't think 5's enough.
You know, we come tonight and you don't know, well, we don't have, there's not the names that you would think and whatever, but someone is going to put on a show that we'll remember. Now, can Josh Hamilton complete the story that he has written perfectly? Justin Morneau certainly was solid in all 3 rounds. He's got 5 in the finals, and now the man that hit 3 homers over 500 feet, Josh Hamilton, to try to win it all when we come back.
Here in the Bronx and down in Times Square on the Jumbotron, getting a chance to watch the home run derby there and the swing of Josh Hamilton. His 28 home runs through first round, and then he added a couple more. Now what he's trying to do is set a record for most home runs in a derby. We were all there in 2005 when Bobby Abreu blasted 41. You don't think he doesn't need to get there, but he can get there. He can try to set a record
when he's done, right?
Huh? Longest home runs hit in the Derby, and Hamilton now has got 3 of the longest ever hit. Remember in Milwaukee, Sammy Rego went off the scoreboard about 3/4 of the way up there. The Big Hurt went deep in Pittsburgh for 519 feet. I think the question is not whether he wins, it's whether he actually hits one out of this stadium. I think that's what happens in the final round to cap this all off. It's amazing what he's done, too. It's not easy to win over a crowd in a matter of an hour in New York. That's all it took him.
An American League player in Yankee Stadium, and he's won them all over.
Rabbit, you can be a Yankee and not win over a Yankee crowd.
Yeah.
And this guy had them chanting his name, and they hardly knew the guy. What a story.
6 home runs to win it, and his 71-year-old pitcher, Claiborne Counsell, throws his first pitch in.
Still looks good.
He does look good. Let's see if there's any carryover effect from some of those swings that he had in the second round where he didn't even finish. He walked after 4 outs because he didn't need to do any more. He didn't need to go to the second round.
No, he didn't. And plus, Yankee fans know that in 3 or 4 years he could be a Yankee.
Yeah.
So start rooting for him now.
This one's coming our way, and it is not going to get there.
One thing about Josh, by the way, he has been totally private about his story until he had this dream, and he waited until he got to Yankee Stadium, and that's when he finally has been telling publicly his story. And so it's been a very emotional, exhausting week, I would think, for the guy.
He did know, though, the role that he plays, and there's home run number 1 for Josh Hamilton in the final round, and it is typically huge, 2 rows away from hitting the back wall. He did know what a form he had here in New York at the Home Run Derby as an All-Star, and the impact he has on, forget baseball fans, just a lot of other people.
Well, a couple of people in the Rangers clubhouse said he's almost an evangelist in what he's trying to do for other people. He has his chat room. He does all this stuff to try to help kids with similar problems. He answers all their questions. He's been he knows he made his mistakes. He's now been a tremendous role model.
All right, so 5 more to win it. Let's go down to Aaron.
All right, thanks so much. I'm here right now with Justin Morneau. When you saw Josh Hamilton hit his first home run, you said, how do you beat that? How do you like your chances as you're sitting over here?
I don't know. Maybe he wore himself out the first round, but as strong as he is, I mean, he's a special kind of athlete. You know, a lot of people wish they could hit a golf ball as far as he hit that baseball out of the stadium. So, you know, he's as good as they come, you know, power-wise, and he's having a great year.
All right, Justin, thanks so much. Guys, over to you.
All right, Aaron, Justin, thank you. Well, you can see the crowd now. He's definitely the crowd trying to help him because they know he's lost that love and feeling.
He's fatigued a little bit. And I think the crowd trying to lift him up some to try to get that energy going again.
Well, he did not have to hit the second round, yes, but look how long he hit in the first round. I mean, you do not recuperate nearly as quickly as people think from swinging a baseball bat. That bat's pretty heavy, and it gets heavier.
Well, Clay Counsell laid another one in there, and this is a scraper.
So I think there's that physical recuperation and then the mental and a concentration recuperation. Be able to try to get locked in again to find your rhythm to get your stroke to hit it out of the park.
Morneau hit 5. If he could have gotten 7, I believe that would have, you know, like I said, been enough. But I don't think 5 is enough to hold this guy.
This ball is to right. Does it have enough lift? Not quite. And that missed by about a foot. So all of a sudden, you know, let's not put the name on the trophy yet.
I actually had already started here.
That's why I mentioned it.
I was right in front of you. Halfway there.
Oh, this one to almost center field, and that's going to be way over it. A doinker off the black part of center field. Oh, goodness. So he's got 3. 3 more, he'll be the champ.
Clay Counsell 79 pitches thrown today. That's a full day's work.
By the way, right there are major league teams that get to the phone when a guy gets 80, right?
Right.
So this might be a little less like it can still be done, okay? Right, Joe?
Well, we talk about pitches, whether they were stressful or not. I don't think these were real stressful.
Yeah, but he's 71.
I don't know.
Under duress. Okay.
That won't make it either. Although that ball had hair on it. So, Justin Morneau, I told you, trying to protect in a low-scoring affair, goalie-like. 3 outs left. 3 homers to hit. Which comes first?
Well, I have to tell you, the pressure starts to build around it right here now. You've got 7 outs. And you need 3 more home runs.
Milton Bradley up. Texas teammate Hamilton. Give a little support. Crowd with it, but this will be an out. So now all of a sudden, the two longtime friends, Clay Counsell and Hamilton, look at each other, and everybody, and hardly anyone's left. They're all on their feet. Well, the crowd's going to try to really help. I don't know that this is Chino in the 9th against Arizona or Brochus in the 9th. I don't know if it's that. But just listen in and you'll know that they want it to happen. Gold ball in. 2 to tie. One more out and Justin Morneau is the winner. Can Josh Hamilton dig? Get a gold ball.
I think he signaled to him to take a little off. Don't throw it quite as hard as he was throwing before, because I think he realized he's a little tired. That's a smart play.
Yeah. Well, so many times we've seen the man with the big show not quite winning at the end, but congratulations to Justin Morneau and to Josh Hamilton and all our participants and all the All-Stars. When we return, Justin Morneau gets the winner's trophy.
State Farm Home Run Derby is brought to you by State Farm, proud sponsor of the 2008 Home Run Derby. Call, click, or visit and start saving today. And in part by Chevy, an American Revolution. And Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. Get there on Goodyear tires with carbon fiber. And we had some blasts closer to the blimp than we did to us down on the field, Aaron Andrews.
All right, boom. We're here to present a check to Tiffany Alvarez, representing Variety Boys and Girls Club, in the amount of $50,000 to a new teen center. Is Mike Davidson, VP and Chief Marketing Officer of State Farm Insurance, and Tim Brosnan, Executive VP of Major League Baseball.
Well, how about that? It's a great honor, Jason. You came through in the clutch tonight, and as a result of you coming through, Major League Baseball and State Farm is proud to present this check for $50,000 for the Variety Boys and Girls Club. So congratulations, Tiffany.
All right, well, congratulations, and congratulations to this guy, Justin Morneau. Now for the presentation of the 2008 State Farm Home Run Derby winner, Mr. Justin Morneau, is Rob Manfield, Executive VP of Major League Baseball.
On behalf of Major League Baseball, I'd like to congratulate Justin Morneau, the winner of the 2008 State Farm Home Run Derby. Congratulations, Justin. Great job. Exciting event. There you go.
Awesome.
Well, you said, how could you beat that when you were watching Josh Hamilton? How did you beat him?
Well, I was lucky that we got reset after the first 2 rounds. You know, this was his show. He did a great job. I mean, he deserved to win it, but you know, I got lucky that he got a little tired, but he did a great job, and it was amazing. That was one of the best performances I've ever seen, and you know, I'm just lucky to be out here right now, and this has been a lot of fun for me.
Well, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you, Joe, Steve. We saw in the house that Ruth built a Ruthian display by Josh Hamilton.
Well, the home run still excites people.
This is one of the greatest memories of my baseball life, and I think will be one of the greatest memories of Yankee Stadium history.
But as is the way Justin Morneau is as a player and as a person,
right,
he quietly went home with the trophy. For all of us here in New York's Yankee Stadium, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks so much for watching.